is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, ladies.
Woo-woo. Happy Friday.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, because you were rolling with the Stones.
I was rolling
last
with the
night.
Stones last night. Yeah, they were here in Denver, and it was amazing. Mick Jagger is super inspirational.
Keith
the
Richards,
show that he puts
too.
on. Keith Richards had his moment, too. He gave them all their moments, but yeah, got emotional.
You feel good?
I feel good and inspired. I feel good and inspired. If he could do that at 80, we could all do it.
Amen.
We could all do it. Yeah. All right. I don't know, that was a little personal moment there. But we're starting today with Eddie Murphy. He was joined by 3 of his daughters and his fiancée on the red carpet for the world premiere of his Beverly Hills Cop sequel. Eddie wore a dark t-shirt and black jacket with sunglasses. That's a good-looking family right there. Other stars from the film, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Kevin Bacon, Paul Reiser, and Judge Reinhold were all there. It's fun to see Kevin Bacon in there, huh?
He's the villain.
Yeah.
Love him.
The movie is the 4th installment in the franchise, and Axel is back in Beverly Hills to prevent a plot against his daughter's life. It premieres on Netflix July 3rd. That's going to be a good day off for 4th of July. Check it out. Earlier this week, Eddie was on the Today Show to promote the film, and here's what he said about returning to the franchise in his 60s. Watch.
Now, I would rather not do any stunts.
You'd rather stay on the couch.
Yeah, we were shooting something, and the director said, "We want you to come out of this place and run down those steps." And after we shot it, he was like, "Can you come down with a more urgency and faster?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm not doing anything action. Don't call me unless you offer me the same type of you would offer Morgan Freeman."
What are Mick Jagger and Eddie Murphy eating and drinking? Because they're timeless.
And
it's
Eddie
crazy.
Murphy looks even better.
Yeah, that's true. But Mick can still move. But Eddie is looking fantastic, but not wanting to do his own stunts, obviously, anymore.
Yeah.
63.
Eddie was clearly in some type of a cryogenic chamber
Yes.
when we weren't hearing from him. I just love the idea of him being in a place in his life and his career where he's always made the decisions to do what he wants when he wants and not do what he doesn't want when he doesn't want. And I think that's also a key to youth and longevity because people get so stressed and it really wears on us. So I love seeing Eddie Murphy doing his thing. I've been a longtime fan. I'm definitely going to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll watch with the
I
fam.
can't wait to watch. And speaking of longevity in his career and just feeling good about yourself, when you're somebody that roots for other people and helps other people out, that not only helps you from within, but it gives you longevity in a career. Everyone's going to have ups and downs. And if you have your posse and one person is up and then they can pull you up and then you're up and you pull them up, that truly gives you a career that is long and lasting and satisfying. And something that I had no idea about Eddie Murphy, I always admired him as a comic and as an actor, but when I watched a special on Chris Rock said, you know, when he was totally unknown, he was performing at a comedy cellar, no one knew who he was, and Eddie Murphy saw something in him, and instead of being threatened by a younger version of himself, he went up to him and said, "You got something. I want you in my Beverly Hills Cop 2 movie." He played, there he is, very young. He played a valet attendant. And he's done this for many people. Yeah. And I had no idea. And kudos to him because that is the example.
Dang, that's incredible.
Yeah. One of the Wayans brothers is in the early movie, so same thing, they met, during comedy. But it's so important what you said because just living in LA or, there's a lot of people that when you get to the next level, whatever it is, they want to chop you down and they want to bring you down. And it's your true friends and true people around you that are there to pull you up. And then when they're down, you pull them up. And that's I think that's very,
it's the key to success in life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of the Beverly Hills Cop sequel, be sure to tune in Monday. Our interview with Judge Reinhold. He'll be here to talk all about the new original film or the sequel. You don't want to miss it. I totally screwed that up, but he'll be here Monday. All right. For weeks now, we've been talking about Ben Affleck and J-Lo's alleged marital issues, and now there is this photo from TMZ that shows J-Lo vacationing in Italy without Ben. Meanwhile, there's a new interview with Ben that aired last night on Peacock. He's talking with Kevin Hart all about J-Lo and her fame. Just a note, this was aired before all this news about their marital issues came out, so take a look.
She's so famous and she creates this, people love her and she really represents something important to people. People are like, hey, I like your movie. You know, J-Lo! It's like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Get out with her, all the kids, through Times Square, and the was like a bananas. She starts running backwards, filming, going, J-Lo! It's like a herald that then gets everyone else, and then they're all tourists, whatever, just woof. Then I'm moving. We got like our 5 kids, me and Jen, and it's like, it feels like hundreds of people, and they're all screaming. Cool.
Ben was jacked up on that one, huh?
Yeah.
Kevin also asked Ben about why he also looks so sad in paparazzi photos. Here's what he said.
I also don't like a lot of attention. This is why people see me and they're like, "Well, this dude always mad." He's always bored. Because somebody has their camera and stick it in my face. I also may be somebody who, like, I do find myself, I'm like, be sitting there at home, I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. And nothing's wrong. I'm like, nothing. I'm listening to this thing, I start thinking something wrong. But
you have resting face.
Do
you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
I have resting hard face.
No, do you know?
Look, I'm Team Benifer. Ben looked a little like wired in that interview. It almost looked like his Saturday Night Live
Maybe
like
he was
parody.
nervous. I mean, Kevin Hart's intimidating.
I guess, yeah,
You know?
maybe. So is Ben Affleck, though. I don't know.
But I think Kevin Hart's a bigger star, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this tells us a lot, gives us a lot of insight into the relationship, especially before the whole thing
Again, this
broke
was
down.
before.
Yeah, because this is broke. But we don't get this insight into the choreographed J-Lo. She is so, to me, in a way, I don't mean this harshly, but artificially sort of composed, that you don't get a lot of straight up honesty and transparency. Kevin Hart's new show, Heart to Heart, is this long form interview style. I really like it. I think it's interesting. And sometimes, like Taylor Swift, I always talked about Joe Alwyn and Travis Kelce. Some people don't like all of that attention. Some people gravitate towards that. I would love it. I would love until it became probably annoying. But I'm just saying, you got to find the right match, is all I'm saying.
I do think, though, with Jennifer Lopez, and I know you brought this up, and I agree with you, like this lack of transparency, but I also think Jennifer Lopez comes from a certain place and time where she couldn't show her weakness.
Yeah.
And I think if she would have a long time ago, people would not have taken her seriously as a producer, an actress, and a dancer.
Right.
So, you know, she's accomplished a hell of a lot. I have so much respect for her, and if things don't work out between them, they'll both be fine.
Yeah.
But I hope things do work out.
Yeah.
He needs to run off that energy, though.
Yeah. Hit the treadmill.
Like a border
That was
collie.
a great set, by the way.
It was beautiful.
That was
I know.
a great set.
Yep.
Coming up on DBL, will Kevin Costner return to Yellowstone? He's finally setting the record straight. In our interview with Marlon Wayans, he's getting real about the loss of his parents, plus telling us about his current comedy tour. You don't want to miss it. What's happening?
I got dizzy.
That was like, I was like, are we coming back or is this a commercial? I don't know what's happening. Good job, Rob. Good job. All right, welcome back to DVL. Sorry, Yellowstone fans, but Kevin Costner will not be returning to the show. He made the announcement in a video he shared on Instagram. Let's watch.
I just realized that I'm not going to be able to continue season 5B or into the future. It was something that really changed me. I loved it, and I know you loved it.
Kevin had previously talked about what it would take for him to return to the series, but sadly it looks like that won't happen now. The series is set to return for the second half of the 5th and final season in November, obviously without Kevin. As for the other series in the Yellowstone universe, anyone a fan of 1883?
I liked it, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It aired back in 2021. It was intended as a prequel limited series and is not expected to return. Another prequel, 1923?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, all right, starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, aired for 1 season, but it's slated to return for a 2nd season. So there you go, Tori.
That's very exciting. I just want to let everybody know, if you don't know Yellowstone, and some people in the studio do and love it, the whole idea is saving the ranch from incoming industry and commercialization of the ranch. And he is the ranch. Like, he is the Dutton Ranch, John Dutton. So there's a lot of strong characters, but without Kevin Costner as the gravitas center, I don't know. I'm glad the show's ending because I wouldn't want to watch it without that.
What do you think will happen? How are they going to do this?
They said they want to do a truncated version of him passing. So it's going to be someone drinking, being like, he died in a fire. It's going to be, you don't even see it. They're not going to spend money. They want him out. Taylor Sheridan and he just, I don't know, they just couldn't see eye to eye. He's the creator. But it's going to be a sad day for the Yellowstone fans because John Dutton is that show.
But Rip and Beth are, I'm talking, those are characters on the show. They're strong characters too. I think they could carry the show at least for the second half of another season, if not another spinoff with them. I think they're good characters.
Yeah, maybe there will be flashbacks, so you still see Kevin Costner. Just seeing his presence gives a little gravitas to the show as well.
But look how much we loved the 2 spinoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
So the writers are so strong and they're so good at casting. I think no matter if that group is still involved, whether Kevin is or not, it will succeed, just like we love the spinoff so much.
We sure do.
Just believe in it, girl.
Okay. I believe in it.
That wasn't very confident.
I believe in it.
All right, there you go. Carol Burnett finally got to put her hand and footprints at the TCL Chinese Theater. Carol, who is 91, got to cement her place in Hollywood history by placing her hands in front of the famous theater. Carol, who grew up in Hollywood with her grandmother, recalled coming to the theater as a young girl. Let's watch. Oh.
Betty Grable was one of my favorites, and I remember bending down and putting my hands on her handprints, never dreaming that someday I'd be putting my hands here 80 years later.
Yeah, if you haven't been to that theater, very famous theater on Hollywood Boulevard, and there's only, a few names that get to do that. So,
icons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about longevity. I got to interview her, and she really grew up just loving the movies. It was her escape with her grandma, and to be in front of the Man's Chinese Theater, or TCL, theater, and to have those handprints just like Betty Grable, that's a dream come true for her.
Betty Grable?
Yeah, Grable.
Thought it was Gable.
Gable. Grable? Gable?
Am I wrong? I could be
wrong. Is it Gable?
I get
it's
every
Grable.
name.
It's Grable.
See, I get every name wrong.
Dang,
Betty
I was wrong
Gable.
too. All right, joke's on me this time. Joke's on me. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Earlier, we caught up with Marlon Wayans about his new stand-up special and why it has viewers crying, laughing. Take a look.
Funniest person in the Wayans family is my mama. People that lost your mama, we are a part of an elite gang, the Dead Mama Gang. Gang, gang!
Please help me welcome back to DBL, Marlon Wayans.
What's happening? How y'all doing?
Marlon, you're literally exercising your right to love. I love seeing the talk in action.
Oh yes, you know I'm trying to live my best life, and I think the one way to do it with your health, and if you get your health right, your spirit is right.
Yep.
You're intact. Everything is good.
Talk to me. Did you want your new comedy special, Good Grief, to be about the loss of your parents? I just lost my mother, so I'm part of the Dead Mamas Club too. So I just wanted
gang.
to. Yeah. So I just wanted to say.
You gotta say gang.
Yeah, gang. Gang.
You know what's so funny is that now people come up to me, and that's what they do. They're like, gang, and I know exactly what they meant. And that means they saw the special, and that means that they're part of the club. And I want people to know that you can get through it, because it seems like this insurmountable thing. When it happens, it's like complete devastation. It's like somebody, it's like a meteor hit the earth, and you're going, all right, so how am I going to survive now?
Yeah.
And then what happens is, over time, you realize it's your ally. And you start thinking about all the wonderful things that the experience of parents left you with, and not the terrible things that left you with. Nobody cares about the bad. Everything is food and nutrition, and same thing with your parents. They're not perfect. Sometimes they taste nasty, but they have these things that, my dad, gang.
That's right.
They have these things that they leave you with, and they forever live in you. And I just want people that's suffering, or gonna suffer, because it happens to all of us, to watch this special and know that you can laugh, you can cry, and you can continue on with life and have a good life. Because that's what they want you to do.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
Oh, you brought her to tears,
Well, it's
Marlon.
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to turn grief into power. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
No. And, hey, gang, you'll get through.
Gang.
It took me 3 years.
Yeah.
Go get you every now and then, just have you a weird shot of some whiskey. Just a nice whiskey. Just one shot. Make sure it's expensive whiskey so you don't drink it all.
You got
so just go have one shot and then lay down and go to sleep.
I will.
Okay?
I will.
Big hugs. Come here.
Big hugs.
And watch the special. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry.
I know it.
You know, gang.
Gang. Thanks a lot.
It's really funny.
Thank you.
Really
I can't
funny.
wait.
I love it. And your family, obviously we're not the same size as your family, but just like you, my father did not do holidays at all. But
I thought you were about to say my father did not wear condoms at all. He's like 30
my dad was one and done, and yours was like, hey, I'll see you later.
It's a weird. That's why my whole family's funny, is because of our experience of having a mother and a father that was so different. We grew up in a buddy comedy. My mother and father was like the odd couple.
You are bringing so much connection and joy to so many people. You're obviously a mama's boy. You spoke openly about the fact that you didn't marry because of the relationship with your mother, and it became fodder on social media. But I think a lot of people understood where you were coming from, especially being the youngest of 10. Can you delve a little bit deeper into people who are in the situation that you found yourself in?
I mean, for me, my mother was needed a lot of attention, right? And so why would I take? I didn't never want to take my mama's attention like that. Sometimes women want to compete, and my mother, my mother, funny, she would compete too. Nah, you ain't me. And so for me, I'll just wait. I'll just wait and let my mom enjoy me as long as she can, and let me grow up. Because one thing I never wanted to do was get divorced. So I think it takes me time to grow up. I was a celebrity since I was 19, and if I get married, I want to be faithful and be right.
Very inspirational.
Yeah.
We only have like a minute left, but you shared that one of your children is transgender. So how did learning that change you personally as a parent?
I mean, that grew me up, because, I thought I was this unconditional lover. I always asked people to love me unconditionally. And then there was all these different conditions that my child just kept breaking in me to find that place of complete, absolute, unconditional love and acceptance. And that acceptance of them actually helped me heal when accepting the death of my mother. and my father, because life goes on. But the one thing I will always do is be a parent and a loving to my child.
I applaud you. Thank you for joining us, Marlon. Great to see you.
So
DBL
great.
Nation, watch Good Grief on Prime Video. Also, he'll be performing this Friday, the 21st through Sunday at the Funny Bone in Albany, New York. Other upcoming cities include San Jose and Cleveland. For more dates and tickets, visit MarlonWaynesOfficial.com. We'll be right back. Thank you, Marlon.
Gang, buddy.
Thank you. Also, my tour is coming, so make sure you watch it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We got you, man.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
The Caribbean is calling you. This June, we're celebrating Caribbean Heritage Month with Sandals by giving away 2 all-inclusive vacations to any Sandals resort of your choice. Watch DBL every day for a word of the day. Then enter at dailyglasslab.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night escape for 2. The winner will be announced on DBL June 26. Make memories for a lifetime and start entering for your chance to win a trip to any Sandals resort. Today's word of the day is starfish.
Welcome back. I love this one. Have you ever considered cold therapy to help with joint pain? According to experts, cold therapy targets large nerve fibers and reduces swelling. So what about you guys? Have you ever tried the cold plunge or cryotherapy?
I used to do cryotherapy regularly. I love the cold plunge, but I was listening to Danielle Robay's
I love Danielle.
Her podcast, and there was an expert saying that it makes you fight or flight. And I was like, well, maybe sometimes we need to be
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Fight
it.
or freeze, you know?
Or we got to read this tease. Cryotherapy isn't the only way to help your joints. Another thing that can help joint pain is Omega XL. It's a powerful joint support that's helped millions of consumers and is backed by 30 years of clinical research. Omega XL's powerful and proven benefits have transformed the lives of athletes, celebrities, and dedicated daily users. Call 800-814-6985 or visit OmegaXL.com for more information. Before we go, I have a quick question to ask you guys. Me and Tori were talking during the break. Do dogs have 4 legs?
Yeah.
Or do they have two arms
and two legs?
And
Four legs. That's why we say our four-legged friends.
But think about it. Don't you have a wrist and an elbow on a dog?
We're talking more about a frog, too.
Yeah, frog. Are those arms or legs in the front?
On a frog.
If they're arms, they're
like they would have to be legs.
They'd have to
That's
be standing.
why they don't say
but they're
frog
not,
legs are only the first 2.
But those are the back legs.
Yeah, but they're not standing.
Do they have arms then?
Do they walk on their arms?
Front frog
No,
legs?
you walk on legs. So
We're gonna leave you guys with that.
Walk
Have a
on
great
arms.
weekend.
Right, I guess not.
Four-legged.